Wow. So I am humbled and honored to truly be a part of this group and just an amazing group that I have just come to cherish. I love my Thursdays even more than I do my Fridays. So as Stephanie said, my focus today is really around my voice, and then using that word of epiphany is how my voice, and I've leaned into my voice throughout my life and my career, and just to provide a little bit more insight for you all around my voice and why I'm leaning so much into it at this kind of stage of my career and my life and what have you. So a little bit of background around me to get to know me a little bit more personally is I come from a very large family. So I am the youngest of 9. Grew up outside of the Chicago area, moved around a little bit, but for the most part, I've been in the Chicago area. So not only am I the youngest of 9, I'm the youngest daughter, the girl, and I am the shortest. It was very important for me to have a voice, find my voice. It was such a blessing to have such a large family because it allowed all of us to have diversity of opinion. And before diversity was kind of a key word and kind of a buzz phrase, there was so much love and respect within the family that it allowed all of us to really bring out the best of us. Oh, don't get me wrong. It wasn't always unicorns and butterflies every day, but I just knew that I could come to my family and I could always find somebody that I could talk to and bring my voice and help me to be a better me, an authentic me. And that has certainly changed throughout my life, but it just became such a foundation. And so it certainly is a key around communication. And as Stephanie had shared as well, so now in this new era, fast-paced, relentless change. I say to everyone, I just love that because it's so epiphany. It's so much speaks to at least where I'm kind of living and just the uncertainty of what tomorrow brings and really trying to embrace that part of it. So my question really becomes, and I would share back for you, so how do you find your voice? And honestly, you are all so tenured. So I do feel very humbled around being in such an amazing, talented group. I have so much to learn from you. How did you find your voice? When did you find your voice? And when we say, I say, find your voice, I'm not implying that it was anywhere lost or it was put to the side. But just through the journey of life, how did it come to be? And that is so much more that I'm just looking forward to tapping into. So I shared a little bit of a story, talked a little bit, and I would say you'd probably agree that, this is an icebreaker. We want to dig in a little bit further. So let's just stroll a little bit through memory lane, for me at least, and share a few moments in my life where voice was really important for me. I shared with you just right now around how I had that solid foundation, loving family. Again, not always happy times, but I always knew that I could come back to my family. My family would be there. I could always find somebody because we were large. And oh, by the way, there's 34 grandchildren, 32 great grandchildren. So we never have a small gathering. So then in school and my career, I took the path of healthcare. Healthcare is like literally in my blood, no pun intended. My brother works in finance, and each of us say, like, how we point fingers to each other, like, how do you possibly work in the industry that you do? My mom passed away right before COVID, and truly it was a blessing. It would have been so difficult for my mother during that time. She was in a nursing home, and family, as you can imagine, social connections were so important for my mom. It would have been very difficult. It was a difficult last few years of my mom's life, but she was vibrant. She had such a voice. She was social. She is such a role model for me. So I became an advocate for her when she was facing declining health, and she really had some challenges. She was sent to the hospital repeatedly. I didn't agree with it. And never before in my life, I argued, and quite vocally and loudly at times, and not with disrespect, but being able to advocate. And because of that, I knew I had a voice. I knew that I needed to advocate for my mom to the best of my ability to give her the best of care in her life, and respect and dignity in the last years. Probably the most hilarious experience around voice was in my career. It goes back sometime, I can't even remember how long ago it was. I was fortunate to be a part of a large sale. I work in sales as well with healthcare. And I was very fortunate to work alongside the team. And we sold our largest health system to our largest health system at that time. Company was excited and great. The leaders as well. They wanted to have a kind of culture story and a showcase around how that happened. How were we able to do that? Obviously, in the hopes of being able to replicate it. Wouldn't you know it? And this was going to be a live meeting in person. This was before Teams and digital and all that jazz. So we were going to be on stage and talk about our story. Wouldn't you know it? Literally the day before, I got laryngitis. And not just a little bit, it was literally the first time in my life I completely lost my voice. And so then it becomes, well, when you lose your voice and you're supposed to be on stage and there is no digital Teams, all I could do was email. So it certainly went without a hitch and what have you, but it was just amazing of the timing of everything. Sander, when you just talk of the timing and when things comes into our lives, I don't know what sort of epiphany that was. And so I will just end. I know I'm on time. And so I am just thrilled again to be a part of this, to share a little bit about me really leaning into my voice and know that this is a new era. And I'm really looking forward to brighter days ahead.